What's going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS podcast and live stream. Recording here for Monday's 7-game main slate. James, man, how was your weekend?
We just can't get up our own way here, John. Injuries have been just killing every lineup that I play. It's comical
I
at this
saw your
point.
Twitter. I saw your Twitter. Sure,
Last
everybody.
Malachi Branham last night, then Jeremy Grant within a 15-minute span. I think 2 nights ago, let's see, Saturday. It was Saturday night. I lost. I lost Michael Porter to an ejection, Cam Johnson to the locker room, and Jared Allen to the locker room. Like, it is. I don't know what's going on. I understand that it's March, but dude, I can't be. Nobody can be running colder. Like, nobody. So I'm looking to get back on track here.
Yeah.
We have a nice 7-game slate. A lot of injury news, per usual on these March slates. But
Yes, sir.
yeah, I'm running cold. But you know what? We're gonna turn the hot water on today, John. We're gonna get steaming hot. We're gonna put out some winners today for sure.
Yeah,
Big time.
I feel your pain a little bit, not in the NBA fields, but obviously played a little NASCAR DFS yesterday with, 6 laps ago. I was in the money in all of my contests, and then by the time those 6 laps were done, I was in the money in none of those contests. As with NASCAR, the volatility when it comes to crashes, I had the first place and second place drivers. They end up finishing 4th and 6th over the final 6 laps, and then the driver that I had in 6th place, he crashed out, comes in 24th. It was a big old disaster for me there on the NASCAR streets. We cashed in PGA. We had a little success in the NBA there. I think it was on Friday night as well. But we'll turn the page. Monday night, 7 games here. As you mentioned, big names not on the slate already ruled out. Luka Doncic out. Giannis did not play over the weekend. He's questionable here against Sacramento. Kyrie Irving didn't play on Saturday either. He's questionable here against Memphis. We know that Halliburton is already out. We know Ja and Durant are out. We still know that Towns isn't back. Miles Turner's out. Rudy Gobert, he is questionable with an ankle sprain here. Jordan Clarkson against Miami, he's questionable with a finger. Buddy Hield is questionable. Alperen Sengun against Boston here tonight, he's probable to play. Jaden Ivey, we know it's in health and safety protocols. Marvin Bagley's still out. Draymond Green, I think he played. He's probable, right? Probable to play tonight. So yeah, Wiggins we know is out. Bogdan's out probably for the rest of the season at this point. Ben Mathurin went out the other night. Isaiah Stewart is still out. I mean, Kuminga's questionable to play. McConnell is out. It's dark in these streets, man.
It is dark in these streets. And again, it's just going to be what it's going to be for the rest of the year. This is how it's shaping out every year. As long as tanking is still allowed and almost promoted in the NBA, like, that's just what's going to happen. And it's only going to get worse. Like, teams are just going to play guys 20 minutes and then they're going to go to their benches. And so we just have to be, cautious. In Vegas, the biggest line movement so far, Minnesota, Atlanta opened at 240.5. It has been bet up to 245 already. So that game looks very juicy. Milwaukee, Sacramento, 244.5. Milwaukee giving 2.5 on the road to suggest to me that Giannis actually plays today, especially because Sacramento's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already at 40 wins. Like, that's going to be a really, really fun game. Phoenix, Golden State is going to be a fun one. 236 total there. Golden State giving Phoenix 4.5 points. Boston is the biggest favorite on the board. 12.5 point road favorites. 231 total there. And then all the other totals are 220 and floats around there. So fun slate. Some big spreads. Big spread in Boston and some massive over-unders in Minnesota, Atlanta, and Milwaukee, Sacramento.
Yep. All right, we'll start off with the point guard spot. Obviously, if Kyrie Irving is active tonight, you get him against Memphis without Luka Doncic. That'll be a play that many people will be certainly in on here. Currently questionable, dealing with a foot injury. Steph Curry gets Phoenix here. Phoenix is blown out Golden State in both games they've played this season, but different teams now, obviously, different rosters. The last time they played, I think, was in January. We've talked about it since Steph has come back. Guys been lights out. 36 actual in that OT win against Milwaukee. Had 29 against Memphis, 40 actual against OKC. So if you want to light up Steph here at 10-4, I think that's certainly a good to go price for me as the top two guys. But I also just kind of fall right back down to Trae Young here again.
Yep.
9,400 is too cheap. We've said it since he's been in this range for the last 4 slates. 54, 49, and then 60 against Boston in that nearly comeback win by Atlanta. They ended up falling just short there, but 35 and 13. You can almost count on Trae Young to give you a double-double on a night-to-night basis. He's averaging a double-double on the season. Now you're getting Minnesota, which has been one of the better matchups that we've been attacking all year long. I mean, listen, again, I'm not going to tell you can't play Kyrie or Curry. Both of them are in great spots. Potentially Kyrie with no Luka, Steph, but I mean, 9,400 for Trae Young, man. He's just, I think, once again, a guy I just plug into my lineups.
Yeah, and you're right. Like, you can definitely play Kyrie or Steph, but this game also has the highest implied total on the board. There's a reason it's been bet up from 240 to 245. I think everyone's expecting fireworks. It's two fast-paced teams, especially Minnesota. So nice pace-up spot. Minnesota currently 5th in pace. Atlanta 10th. So it's just going to be a very high-octane, offensive-minded game. So, yeah, I think 9,400 Trae is the best play at this price point.
Yeah, hard for me to sit there and argue. Again, we didn't like playing 10K Trae. There was that weird slate where he was 8,800 and we just auto-plugged. He's on his way back up, but I'm still going to hit him while he's at 94. I think that price is just really tenable here on this slate, especially because we know there's going to be some value we're going to get to also on this slate, so plenty of opportunity to maybe double spend here. Other guys under 9K, though, we got Drew Holiday, who broke my heart against Golden State, had over 18.5 points. They even go into overtime. He doesn't score a single point. Finishes at 18. Big sad there. He's $8,900. If there's no Giannis, I like it. I don't know how you feel if Giannis plays, given the fact that Middleton is over his minutes limit, it feels like now. He's playing over 30 minutes a night, just kind of cuts in at 8,900 Drew Holiday. You have De'Aaron Fox on the flip side of that matchup. We know Holiday's kind of been a tough test for guards. Chris Paul's at 77. Tyus up to 73, which we both like now that there's no John Morant there. Got to bump up that price point for him. Tyler Hero 69. Where are we going once we get below the top guys?
Yeah, I can't get to Drew. I think Giannis plays. Suggesting that they're favorites in Sacramento, that tells me Giannis is playing. At least that's what Vegas believes. So if Giannis is active, I'm not paying 8,900 for him. Conversely, you can get to De'Aaron Fox in tournaments. I don't think you need to, because you could play Chris Paul without Kevin Durant. I mean, we saw the last 2 games. Again, with Kevin Durant and without Kevin Durant is night and day with Chris Paul in terms of fantasy production. I mean, now we're getting 16 and 18 actual points. We're getting 16 assists to go along with it, 46.50 fantasy points, and under 8K in a great game environment. Love Chris Paul. You could definitely get to Tyus Jones. 9 shots, still has a double-double, still gives us 35 fantasy points. He is going to be a very good fantasy producer without John Morant here. Like Tyus quite a bit. And I think Tyler Hero's price tag is kind of criminal. I'm not totally sure. I saw Jimmy Butler walk off the floor in disgust in the middle of that game against Orlando. They are,
can't be losing to Orlando, I'll tell you that much.
You can't be losing to Orlando, that's for sure. That was the first time Hero hasn't played 30 minutes in quite a while. He plays 38 minutes regularly. There's no reason he should be under 7K almost ever. Yeah. So, yeah, I love this mid-tier. Chris Paul, Tyus Jones, Tyler Hero, going to live there.
Yeah, I'm with you there, 100%. It's just a really great mid-tier range for that group if you're not going down. For some value, where are we looking here? I mean, we talk about the Boston guards all the time. They're all healthy, so kind of tough to go. But Marcus Smart is getting the minutes, 36 there against Atlanta. Portland, I think did he get ejected in that game? Or no, did he get ejected in the Atlanta game? He got ejected in the Atlanta game.
He got ejected in the Atlanta game, foul trouble, and blowout in the Portland
Sure,
game.
22 minutes there. So he's playing 36 minutes. So, I don't know if I want to pay $5,700 for Smart, but, he's kind of playing more than Brogdon, who's more expensive than he is. We're not playing White. Chris Dunn at 55, Killian Hayes at 57. Anything there for you? Nembhard at 5K. Going to start with no McConnell, no Halliburton here.
Yeah, I'm just kind of ignoring the Boston guards in this spot. 12.5 point spread. Like, we've seen Brogdon play in blowouts at times. So, like, if you want to play Brogdon, I think he would be my favorite of the bunch. But I like Killian Hayes quite a bit. No McConnell, no Halliburton, no Jaden Ivey on the flip side. No
Going
Alec
up against
Burks,
backup guards in his own right.
Yeah, right. So Killian Hayes, he played 37 minutes and started the other day.
That was a lottery pick, right? They just knew they knew his offense was going to take time to develop. We thought we saw glimpses of it earlier in the season, and then he kind of
definitely has not developed.
And he kind of went back down a little bit. Still can't shoot. Guy just can't.
Oh, it's terrible.
But that's fine. Rajon Rondo could never shoot either. Just get it. Slow development here for Killian.
Look, if he's gonna play 35 minutes and have double upside at 5,700 in a good spot, then I'm for it. And conversely, on the flip side of this game, Andrew Nembhard played 33 minutes. And, I mean, we just saw this matchup. He was 2 assists shy of a double-double with 19 points.
Nembhard is officially only good when every other possible starter
correct. That is correct.
Right?
Because he had the 60 against Golden State earlier in the year.
If there's no Halliburton, no Miles Turner, nobody healed, Andrew Nembhard is the GOAT.
And McConnell. And no McConnell.
Right.
Like, it's just, Nembhard is elite, 5K. And then, like, look, if there's no Kyrie...
Jaden Hardy, man,
right? Dallas starts Jaden Ivey or Jaden Hardy. We're playing Jaden Hardy. I know, like 3K to 4K, big difference because he was stone cold min, and then but still 21 shots, which we've been saying it. We
talked about it. You were in on him months ago and 100% correct on it. The guy in the G League was averaging what was it, like 28 points a game?
Yeah, almost 30 a game. Yeah. I mean, he's a bucket.
You had it.
Kidd, and even when he was called up, Jason Kidd was like, "Listen, we got to play. Like, we just have to play this game. Like, it is what it is." So yeah, I mean, there's no reason if Kyrie sits that we're not like entertaining the Jaden, especially if he's going to start, and you could play him at both guard spots. Like, everything just lines up pretty well for Jaden Hardy.
Looking at some of the, he played 26 minutes against Utah, back on 2-6. He had 45 fantasy points, 29 actual in that game, and then he played 27 minutes against Portland on January 15th. He had 25 actual, 34 fantasy points in that game. So basically, whenever he's getting like consistent run, he's been a productive player. And then you see him against Memphis, 37 minutes, 22 actual. So the guy can certainly be a bucket if everybody's out. Jalen Green's probably not Jalen Green. What's the Green? Who's Green on that team? Josh Green. He's another one that we tend to go to here when those guys are on the lineup. He had 21 and 10 in that game against Memphis. So definitely some Dallas value could be had here if those guys are ruled out on this slate here. Thoughts on NEW? Other day, he was projected to be the highest roster player on the slate. 20 fantasy points he got out of him in that game against Brooklyn. Would you go him or Conley here?
I mean, like, I think NAW is what he is. Like, he's fine. He's going to play 20 minutes, and I don't think we can really expect more than that. And he can get you 20 fantasy points. But, like, I'm going to just find $300 to get Jaden Hardy. If I'd rather play NAW for the savings. But, I mean, like, you can get the Conley if you want.
Who did Utah play a guard on?
They had Talon Horton-Tucker who went for 60 fantasy points.
And that's why Dunn played 16 minutes?
Yeah, Talon Horton-Tucker just...
Well, I did pick up Talon Horton-Tucker in our fantasy league this morning, James. I know you're not in the playoffs, but John is, so...
Yeah, he went bananas.
Yeah.
He had a quite a good game. Two rebounds shy of a triple-double and 37 points.
37 points against Charlotte. That's hilarious. Anyways, so let's go to shooting guard then. Booker here at 10-1. You paying up for Book?
He's been awesome. I know, like, he wasn't amazing against Sacramento, but, like, still got his 50 fantasy points. Like, it wasn't like that 60-point upside that we had 4 straight games, but yeah, man, I am. I mean, 28 plus in 5 straight games, playing 38 plus minutes essentially a night if the game stays competitive. Like, big total, Golden State 2.5 games back of them for the 4 seed. Like, this game matters. So yeah, I'll get to some Devin Booker.
Other guys down here: Anthony Edwards at 92, Jaylen Brown up to 9K, Desmond Bane 8,400, DeJounte Murray up to 83. Last time we saw him, he was in the 7Ks. Clay's at 76, and then THT is up to 7K. Thoughts on the tier 2 guys here at shooting guard?
Yeah, I mean, Edwards, we talked about it the other day. It's like you can play him in tournaments. No one's going to get there. And, he had a good game, 53 fantasy points, but like, and now $300 cheaper. 44 minutes
in that game, was that an OT, or did he just never come off the floor?
They went to OT. They went to OT, I believe. You can get there again. It's a huge total, fast-paced game. Like, you could definitely get there if you want. I don't know how I'm going to treat the Boston guys, just considering Houston is so bad. I don't know if this game can stay competitive enough to get enough out of Brown and Tatum. So like tournaments only for me. We like Brown's eligibility and his upside. Yep. Bane, of course, terrible. Price is up and has a good game, 45 fantasy points. So like you can go back to the well there, same matchup. I like DeJounte under 8K. I still like DeJounte's like minutes. But like he's not making shots right now. 4 of the last 5 games, he's been under 40% shooting. Yeah. Not great, Bob. Clay for tournaments. Talon Horton-Tucker, like, I don't know if he's contingent on Clarkson, but obviously it helps not having Clarkson on the floor. So, like, he's not taking 24 shots with Jordan Clarkson on the floor, I don't think.
No, I agree with you there. We talked Tyler Hero. Would you play Jordan Poole at 66?
No. He looks bad.
Okay.
He looks bad.
THT here, Tim Hardaway Jr., THJ. 23 actual in that game. Good little run. 42, 33, and 38 fantasy points for him the last 3 games. Good
back
shot
in the starting lineup
for him. Shoots threes.
Back in the starting lineup too.
Yep.
So I think as long as Luka's out, he'll continue to start, and it's only going to get better. If Kyrie's out too for THJ. So
Duarte played the minutes but missed all of his shots. But at $4,200, I think you kind of have to run back to him with no Ben Mathurin, maybe no Buddy Hield, no Halliburton, no McConnell. Like they don't have bodies. So Duarte at $4,200 could be in for 30, 35 minutes again tonight.
Yeah, he's going to play all the minutes, and we're going right back to the well. Look, he's 2 for 11 against Detroit. He's going to take a whole bunch of shots again. And you know what? I do like that Carlisle still played him 32 minutes, even in a game where he couldn't make a shot. So.
Right, because they just didn't have a choice. They
didn't have. Yeah, he had 2 quick fouls in that game, I believe.
Yeah, you were tweeting that he can have negative fantasy points.
He had 2 quick fouls, and he had a turnover, go like halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah,
it was like. The most amazing. I thought he was going into half with negative points, which would have been a very impressive feat because it wasn't like he played like 1 minute, came out the floor. Like he had like a solid amount of time. Ended up getting to double figures somehow, But we have to. I think Duarte just kind of is. I wouldn't say must play, but like firmly in play if Buddy Hield. I mean, no matter what, but like if Buddy Hield's rolled out, he's almost a core play.
Yep, I'm with you. All right, let's go to small forward. There's somebody else down there at shooting guard that we haven't talked about already.
Are you sure? Yeah, you're right.
I was going to say, who do you want to play?
I mean, I was just looking at, like, Detroit's down a lot of guys. You could play Roddy McGruder.
I mean...
play RJ Hampton, who's playing 20 minutes a game.
Their bodies. They're not anybody I want to play there.
Yeah, I know.
Agbaji's 37. He's playing 30 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, small forward. Tatum's 10-9, as you talked about. Like, this game could be over at halftime. Though, I feel like every time we say, like, this game's going to be over at halftime, it's like a nail-biter to the end. Boston also, for whatever reason, gets out to big leads and then, like, lets teams come back into games. So, I mean, if you want to play Tatum, go for it, right? The guy's going to be a rebounding machine because there's no Robert Williams, and he's probably going to score 30. So... 10-9, sure. And unlike the guy who's below him, he actually gives you other stats as well. So, Lauri Markkanen at $9,900, you're desperate for a 30-10 game. Tatum can give you 30, 10, 5, 2, and 1. Is just in his bag. So I'd rather play Tatum. Not going to play Markin at 99. I don't even know why he's still $9,900.
No idea.
It doesn't make any sense. I'll play Buckets at 87. I don't care. I mean, I've been saying it forever, right? And I think you finally come onto my side at this point now, too. Like, we're beyond Jimmy Butler could show up and give you a 13-4. No. We're past that.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler's in full on, like, down the stretch playoff.
He's in playoff. Yeah, he's in playoff mode.
And again, talk about a guy whose price they won't touch. Thank you, right? Like, I'll continue to play Jimmy Butler at $8,700. Not a problem whatsoever here.
Did you see the 3 he hit in the Cleveland game to force overtime? Dude, he is special in this time of year.
He's probably haunted
really
by the 3 he missed against Boston last year. Remember, Game 7, he had the breakaway pull-up 3 that he clanked, and that was it. Now it's the reason the Celtics made it to the finals.
Yep.
Not that he's been a great three-point shooter at all this season. Still only shooting 30-something%, but...
Right, but he's just clutch. Yeah. He's just been so clutch.
As a Celtics fan, when I saw him pull up that 3, I was thinking nothing but net was coming. So very happy to see that he missed that shot. Middleton at 82. Again, 34 minutes in that game. The minutes limit seemingly is over. The question is just whether or not you think 8,200 is too much if Giannis is back. But he's been really good. He's been playing really well.
Yeah, I mean, this was always like... This is the smart approach, I think, with Middleton. Like, there's no need to... They rushed him back earlier in the year, and he, like, folded almost. Like, he got hurt again. So this was the correct approach. I do think it's a little expensive if Giannis is there, but it's a great matchup. 243 total. Like, if you want to get there, you're going to get there. He's an all-star. He's been an all-star for, like, 3 years in a row, sans this year, with Giannis next to him.
And not just scoring dependent anymore either. Like, over the last couple of years, he's really evolved his game to fill out the stat sheet. So,
agreed.
I like it at 82. Talk Clay, THT Hardaway. We like Kyle Anderson. That game went into overtime. He had a pretty big performance there, 15, 7, and 11. If he can stay out of foul trouble, stay in a competitive game, feels like the 35 minutes are his.
Yep.
So I'm good paying the $6,100 on him. I never played DDV. You mentioned him, but he's coming off of a double-double there against Milwaukee in that overtime game. He also had a 5 fantasy point game against Memphis. Granted, he only played 21 minutes in that one in the blowout loss, but I don't know. Where are you with DiVincenzo here at 59?
I mean, I think we can feel good about DiVincenzo if, like, Kuminga sits because... I mean, I think we could feel good. Like, they're not playing Anthony Lamb because he doesn't have a contract right now. They don't have Wiggins, obviously. They just announced they hope he's back before the end of the year. And they didn't have Kuminga last game. So, like, everything lined up for DiVincenzo to just be on the floor for Golden State to go smaller. So, like, you can get there. 5,900 feels a little steep for me.
Yep, that's fine. Hoarder 55. Tari Eason, we talk about all the time. We like him in blowouts, but he's kind of getting more run lately.
Anyways, he's going to approach 30 minutes here if he can stay out of foul trouble.
5,400. Livers had a ceiling game. I don't know if I can trust that to happen again. At 50,
20 shots.
Yeah, at 53. That doesn't seem sustainable, but no Ivy, no Bagley. Like,
yeah, they are down everyone. Bojan, Ivy, Burks, Cunningham,
but he's like, played a lot of minutes before, and Bagley's
out too, by the way.
Yeah,
so like they're out everybody. They're out everybody.
He just never profiled. He just never profiled to be that kind of volume guy. But I mean, double-digit shot attempts in 3 of the last 4 games.
He's taking 20 shots. He's taking 20 shots.
Look at all those 3-pointers too. So like, I guess he's
in our player pool, John.
I don't want to play his numbers. Oh, it's so gross. Harry B at 5K. I don't mind.
It's a good price.
Talk Josh Green. DeAndre Hunter keeps playing the 30 minutes. He played 39 against Boston, so that's fine right there. Sadiq Bey, 26 minutes back-to-back games. We've talked about him. This has to be Jordan Nwora, right? He only played 16 minutes, but like they're down so many men. Like, how is Jordan Nwora not? If Heel doesn't play tonight, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, so if Heel doesn't play, my guess
who do they have on this roster?
My guess would be Nembhard, Duarte, Nesmith.
Start?
They've started George Hill. They've also started Nwora. My guess would be Duarte. Yeah, Duarte, Nembhard, Nwora, Neesmith, and Isaiah Jackson. And then they have Brissett off the bench playing probably backup 3, backup 4. Jalen Smith is the backup center. Him and I think they had a full 48-minute split. Turner or Smith and Jackson. No, I guess they did play along one another. 25 minutes for each. So you'll see Smith, you'll see Jackson, but George Hill will just actively be like their backup point guard. So I think they need to start Nwora to keep Hill.
Queen actually on their rotation here? Like,
no, he hasn't played since January.
Well, I know,
so,
but does he?
He might have to.
Have to play today? Like,
yeah, he might. He might. And if that's the case, then yeah, I mean, I guess in theory Hill could start. But if Hill doesn't start, then I assume he's just Queen's not in their rotation.
Right.
Because yeah, I think Nwora is going to start.
James Johnson played 22 minutes the other day.
Yeah. James Johnson, good for him. I'm so happy for him. I mean, Isaiah Jackson was in foul trouble. Duarte got in that early foul trouble.
I'm not saying to play. I'm just kind of talking about
who's going to actually play here.
Who could actually see the floor here?
Neesmith, even though like everyone's out, only played 20 minutes. Like I mean, I guess I am only playing Jordan Nwora if he's starting.
Okay.
But like even then, 4,500 is still tough to get to.
Sure.
I wish he was 3,500.
Yep, that's fine. I don't have any other small forwards. Do you? Do you have anybody else on here you like?
I mean, like, David Roddy went 10 for 13 from the floor the other day. Like, I don't know if that's a product of him just getting hot because they were healthy. He just made all of his shots, right? Like, is that something that's sustainable? And then it's like Kessler Edwards also played 26 minutes. I don't know why. Like, they didn't play Terrence Davis, and Kessler Edwards suddenly 26 minutes, 25 fantasy points. Like, is that sustainable? Like, two guys that I could have interest in. I just don't know if it's like very hard to get to.
Terrence Ross, last 2 games, 23 minutes each. He's knocking down the shots. 8 of 13, 7 of 13, 36 and 25 fantasy points in those 2 games.
I can get behind it.
For Phoenix. It's just one of those like hot or cold things. If he comes off the floor, I mean, Dallas, he played 13 minutes, had 3 fouls, took 1 shot, right? Like,
right.
But there's no KD, right? So, like, without Durant, they definitely have a need for a wing to come in and play. So, Terrence Ross could certainly get a bump, right? Because he was playing all those 20-minute games without Kevin Durant's return, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, maybe Terrence Ross in this matchup against Golden State could be a dart throw in tournaments there. All right, power forward. We have Giannis at the top. Again, you think he's playing? He's $11,900 against Sacramento. Where does he rank for you on terms of top spend ups? Is he the guy? I mean, 11.9. He's the highest priced guy active on the slate potentially.
Yeah, he's first. It's a hand injury. Cardio will be fine. And the 2 games prior, like, returned from injury, played 28 minutes, 2 games. Then he played 35, 36 in like competitive settings. I expect nothing less here.
Yeah.
Great best game environment. One of the 2 best game environments on the board. Like nothing to dislike about this spot.
Yep, I'm with you there. Sorry, just getting a text update there. The Patriots have traded Jonnu Smith to the Falcons. So.
Good for Kyle Pitts, right?
Yeah, good blocking tight end there, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what.
No, I know he is. I know.
Anyways, so Giannis is 11.9 there. We talked about Tatum. Jaren Jackson's at $8,500 on the road against Dallas, but certainly the matchup and the upside for Jackson's great. Bobby Poe takes a hit with Giannis back.
Yep, can't get there.
Where do you go after that? I mean, Olynyk?
Jabari Smith, maybe? Dude, Jabari Smith's been balling.
Are you playing him against Boston? Yeah. He's been good. I'll give you.
I feel like he's also blowout proof. Kinda. Yeah. Like we've seen him on the floor in like blowouts.
Well, what did we talk about like last Monday? Right? Like why is Jabari Smith we talked about him when Jabari Smith had that run of 6, 7, and 7 shots. And like, why is Jabari Smith taking 6, 7, and 7 shots? It doesn't make any sense. And I think we liked him in that Brooklyn game, 15, and then he popped off against the Pacers and the Bulls here. But this is what the last 3 games is what we should see out of Jabari Smith, not the previous 3. So
Right.
I don't know. Against Boston, sure.
It's a tough spot. It's a tough spot.
Gonna get Tatum, I guess, right?
Yeah, you're not wrong. Like, it is a difficult spot. Just like
Al Horford's been really good, but what do you do about? We talked about the blowout is just tough to tough to gauge. I like Kelly O in tournaments at $5,800. We touched upon Harrison Barnes at small forward, but the minutes there just are great. If he hits the shots, good price at $5K. Not a lot at power forward, man. I mean, the indie guys, I guess, we've talked about already.
Dude, I always mention Jalen Smith. He is a fantasy point per minute monster.
Yeah, we
like him
ever since he got traded from Phoenix, and they weren't playing him.
Even if he's coming off the bench, like, with Turner out, I feel good about his minutes. Like, I shouldn't say that.
Can we play John Collins? 29, 28, and 30 minutes the last 3 games.
Yeah, we can play John Collins.
Listen, he's not a $4,500 player, but he was when he was playing 16 minutes, 20 minutes, right? But if he's playing 30 now, like he has 3 straight games, John Collins in Minnesota, against Minnesota, $4,500 at home.
Yeah, it feels good. It's a best 245 total.
Yeah.
And if Quinn Snyder's going to play him 30 minutes a game, I think it's definitely worth taking a look at.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I never know what's going on with Keegan Murray. I know he got in foul trouble again, but only 15 minutes in that game.
Impossible.
So,
Impossible. There's your Kessler Edwards minutes.
Yeah, that's true. Those are your Kessler Edwards minutes. K Love's down to 4,100 because they're not playing him more than 20 minutes a game. So much for that signing.
Yep.
They play? Yeah, you were on the Umori train there, weren't you? There.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna play him. They're gonna play him.
Signed his second 10-day contract today.
Yeah, they just don't have guys, dude. Like they look at their Bagley, Bojan, Stewart out. They're starting Livers. Like they can't play Jalen Duren and Wiseman next to each other.
Yeah.
Like that's just criminal. I mean they played 45 minutes at center. So yeah, I mean Omiuri's gonna play 23 plus minutes and probably closer to 30, just considering who's in and who's out. So yeah, I'm gonna get there 3,800.
You know what? I would play Grant Williams, I think. He didn't play a minute against Atlanta. Which is obviously concerning.
Yes. That is concerning.
But would he get minutes against Houston in a blowout?
No. I mean, yes. No.
Who played?
I don't know.
Hauser played 21 minutes against Atlanta.
Do you think it's worth playing any of them in a blowout?
Muscala didn't play any minutes.
Like, I'd rather just play, like, O'Shea Brissett at 3,100. Just because Indiana's
Blake
rotation
Griffin played 15 minutes against Atlanta.
Yeah, like, that's... like, I don't want to play any of those guys. No, like, you know? I feel like the Celtics
Robert Williams isn't officially ruled out for this game.
We'll get the injury report
Could make
any minute.
Could make his return tonight.
We'll probably get the injury report at noon.
I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but like, if we think of blowouts, like Al Horford's not going to play 35 minutes against Houston. All right. Well,
no, I just don't feel good. Like, knowing that Grant didn't play and then Hauser played 20, like, how do you predict who's going to actually get the run?
Yeah. I wonder if Grant Williams didn't play that game because he was talking shit in that Portland game that missed both free throws.
Yeah, I mean,
or was that the Cleveland game? I forget what game it was now.
He did that was Cleveland. It was him and Donovan Mitchell talking shit.
Because, I mean, like, at 3,200, 22, 19, 17, the last 3 games he was active for. Not terrible, but all right. I guess it's too difficult to pay.
It's hard. I'm just looking
for value. That's all. Maxi
Kleber
playing 26 minutes a night.
It's just hard to get there. It's just hard.
All right, let's go to center. We'll put a bow on this one. Sabonis at 98 against Milwaukee.
Yeah, I like the price. It's, stay out of foul trouble. Kind of an anomaly, huh? 17, 8, and 4. Like, that's kind of on the low end of things. So, bounce back game for Sabonis for sure.
Feels like a great matchup for Bam, but Bam has not been good.
No, he has not. No, he has not.
He has not. I mean, and you know what? Maybe there's a correlation of Butler playing as well as he is, that Bam's production's going down. Because they're not running stuff through Bam anymore. It's just a Butler takeover. So, 8,100 there. If Gobert's in, I told against Brooklyn. What did I tell you?
Yeah, he
I love
broke the
Rudy.
slate. Yeah,
Loved Rudy in that game. Granted, overtime, but I mean, dominating performance, 26 and 13. I like the same spot for him at 79 against Atlanta. If he's playing, he's questionable with an ankle sprain. So
yeah, and if he doesn't, we just play Nasri, and that's like he's like the best value of the slate. So like it's.
Ayton had a really big game against Sacramento there, 22 and 12. No Kevin Durant. Maybe some more offense going to him here against Golden State.
Yep.
Hasn't had the greatest production against Golden State, but blowouts have kind of impacted that a bit there as well. Only 32 fantasy points averaging in 2 games there. Walker Kessler at $7,200. We know he can be a shot blocking machine. He's also got double doubles now in like 8 straight. Because the guy was a first round pick and he's good. So totally cool playing Kessler here at 72. Or do you worry about the Bam matchup? Because Miami has been good against centers this year.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can't complain about Walker Kessler's minutes because we weren't getting them earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm.
But like, why aren't we just playing him 40 minutes? Like, it's like the Trae Young thing. I shouldn't be complaining about Trae Young's minutes because he's still productive.
I will say in the 1-point game against OKC, he played 37. In some of these other games where the spread has been less close, he's played 30.
Yeah, but it's 7-point games. Like, these are competitive games. It's not like
they're I'll have to go check the actual box scores and see what, how much was this, like a late blowout run or like things like that. But I hear you. Like, he shouldn't be off the floor. Like, play the man.
We're at the point where, like, you traded multiple players. You cleared the way for, traded almost everyone you should have.
I was just saying that doesn't matter because Dallas played Christian Wood 15 minutes in a game. They didn't have Luka or Kyrie.
I mean, they don't.
They just they have no interest in playing the guy.
Yeah, I mean, that's more so like they don't. Jason Kidd clearly has a problem with Christian Wood more than like anything else.
Did Christian Wood come to the floor and be like, "You're an overrated point guard that doesn't deserve"?
Yeah, he said something. Yeah, he was. He was talking shit to Jason Kidd for
sure. Capella's 62, only played 22 minutes in that game. James Wiseman, listen, he's going to have to be on the floor, right?
So here's the thing. You have 48 minutes of position, right? That's what it breaks down to. Wiseman, and I'll look it up, just based on how their minutes, they played 45 minutes, they're not sharing the floor together. Right. So, like, is it going to be a 24-minute split each? Is it going to be...
Well, Durant only played 20 minutes in each of the last 2 games. So,
do you think that has to do with him returning from injury, or do you think that has to do with...
Well, remember when they traded for Wiseman, they said he's going to be their starting center. So
they did not play... So if you look at... He is the direct sub for James Wiseman. Yeah. They're the direct sub for each other every single time.
Yeah, I think Wiseman's the starting center and Durant's the backup center. Because they need to see what they have in Wiseman here. Like he was a former 2nd overall pick a couple of years ago. Never got a chance in Golden State because he was hurt all the time. Like, you need to let this kid develop and see if he can be the number 2 guy. They traded for him. You were the one that said, reported basically what the general manager said. Like, he's going to be the starting center on this team.
I refuse to believe that he is not a good player.
He
is so skilled.
I have 15 of his rookie cards. I pray to God he eventually turns it around because all of them are worth nothing at the current moment. So
there was obviously like all that stuff circulating about him not playing defense earlier in the year.
Well, remember Draymond Green like yelling at him on the floor that one time. So, and you know what? Listen, the worst situation for him to go into was to go into a team like Golden State that's trying to win a championship.
Dude, they fell into Wiseman and Moody in the first round because they were so bad because of all the injuries.
All the injuries, right. They didn't
just like
they weren't allowing these guys to develop because they were in win now mode. This isn't Houston where they're just playing Jalen Green and Kate Cunningham, all these guys to develop. If you couldn't play, you didn't play, and that was the problem. That was like what the Celtics teams with like Rob Williams. Like Rob Williams had injury issues, but also like they weren't using him as much because they were in a win now mode. They had to win and let him develop in this limited role that he could get on the floor. James Wiseman is going to have plenty of time to develop over the next 2 weeks here and see what he's got. And maybe next year he could, I'm not ready to give up on him. Look, it took Markelle Fultz 6 years, right? To
be good. He's good.
Right? So
Wiseman's would you pay $6,000 for him? Oh, at the end of the day. That's the question. He's gonna play. What do you think so he played 34 in Washington. I don't think he plays 34 with Jalen Duren back. I think it's max a 28-20 split.
I don't think I pay
right?
$6K for him because I don't think his ceiling is much more than 6x.
Right. And you also have Jalen Smith 47, Isaiah Jackson 46.
Right.
Who both just went for almost 40 fantasy points in the same game.
So I'll say this: if I'm in a spot where 6K is what I got left, I'm comfortable playing for the floor that I think is there.
Right.
But he's not all right, starting my builds here, James Wiseman in at center. That's not where I'm at.
Right.
With this here. I talk about Looney being a rebounding machine all the time. Played 36 minutes in that game, 15 boards. I don't know what they're going to give him for minutes, though, so kind of tough to see. You've talked about Jackson. We're in on him at 46.
Yep. Started was in foul trouble.
Yeah. That's about it for me, though. There's nothing else down here.
Yeah, I mean, Maxi Kleba.
Yurt 7 played 7 minutes because Cody Zeller.
Yurt 7 minutes?
Yeah, Yurt 7. All right, let's build the lines here. Who we plug? We're plugging in Trey?
Yeah, I like that.
All right, then we're doing the indie value here. Duarte, Numbard.
And one of the centers.
You like Jackson or Smith?
I mean, I like Smith's position eligibility, but Jackson looked amazing outside of foul trouble. Okay, I'd play them both.
Sure. I mean, we can play, we can play 4 patients.
I don't think we should play 4, but I would play them. I like Smith's eligibility. I like Jackson starting. If you feel better about Jackson starting, obviously it's hard to predict that if Smith doesn't play, who's to say they don't just give, it's Rick Carlisle. Yeah. Who's to say Daniel Tice doesn't get the backup center minutes? Not
wrong.
Let's just play Jackson. Let's play Jackson for the stability that he's starting.
Yep. All right, and then we go in Duarte or Numbard.
Both.
Okay, works.
And then probably
Duarte has the shooting guard small forward eligibility, so goated.
Yeah, it's nice. Yep.
Goated eligible. All right, $6,700 for power forward, guard forward utility. You want to just throw Giannis in there?
I was gonna say Killian Hayes at guard.
Okay.
It's
sure, I'm fine stacking this game. That's fine.
They don't really have anybody.
Do we want a double spend? Was there another top guy you wanted in your lineup here? Steph or Kyrie or
what do you think? Well, what do you think about Devin Booker? I was thinking that game in general. Devin Booker's probably the lowest owned of all of them, and he might be playing the best of all.
Do you like Phoenix going in the Golden State here though? They don't.
I don't care.
I know it's only a 4
Golden State.
I know it's only a 4-point spread, but I do worry a little bit.
Golden State has not been. Golden State has not been them. Golden State has not.
My problem is that I don't know if Phoenix has the guns to shoot.
Oh, dude. Yes.
Without Durant.
Dude, they're the force. They're still the 4 seed. They've been without Durant all year.
I know.
They were the 1 seed, back-to-back years, best team in the West.
More depth on that team, though. It feels like
that is not incorrect, but it's they're largely healthy outside of Landry Shamet. Their depth, Cameron Payne's back.
Yeah.
Okogie's back. They got Terrence Ross, as you mentioned. They have T.J. Warren. Phoenix is a really good team. They're just obviously a title contender with Kevin Durant.
Sure.
And we're talking about Golden State, who is 1 game over 500. They're not. They were just in overtime at home against Milwaukee without Giannis.
Sure.
I'm not saying we have to play Devin Booker. I'm more so just talking about I think Phoenix is definitely live to win this game, not just stay competitive.
Okay. Do you like Booker over Giannis though?
I like Booker over Giannis. No, I was just trying to make it easier on our roster flexibility. But I guess
this is what I threw down right now. This is with a utility spot left open. Trae Young, Numbard, Duarte, John Collins at 4,500.
Okay, so it was Collins. So it was Collins. Giannis was the final two pieces.
Collins, Jackson, Hayes, Giannis, and we have a $4,700 utility. Jalen Smith is $4,700 if you wanted to just 4-stack the Pacers here tonight. Nuorez, $4,500. Whomever starts of that group could find their way into lineups. If Gobert gets ruled out, Naz Reid is $4,400.
Yeah, Naz. Well, that's the easiest.
Jaden Hardy, we didn't talk about. He's $4K.
True.
Right? Like, so there's a lot of flexibility here at this util spot that we could run to. Does Jaden Hardy start?
He started.
Anyways, even if Kyrie plays?
I think they would because they hadn't been starting. And we didn't mention Josh Green either. I mean, you mentioned him, but
I brought him up, but I didn't talk. We didn't talk in depth.
He went
Josh
crazy
Green
the other
is
day.
48. I'm $100 off Josh Green. So
their starting lineup, if Kyrie plays, would be Kyrie, Hardaway, Green, Dwight Powell, and Reggie Bullock.
Okay.
That would probably be their starting lineup. Kleber's going to play big minutes off the bench, and Hardy would be the backup. They're like primary backup guard. And they play Justin Holiday.
So do you play Josh Green anyways then tonight?
You could. I mean,
so you like Killian Hayes, obviously, but just like if we were to move off Hayes and play Green, that would give us a $5,200 utility spot.
Two util.
Yeah, which is a Kogi, I guess, would be your Phoenix exposure.
You like the minutes. The minutes are nice.
Harry B's at 5K, opposite of Giannis. Hunter 4,800, more Atlanta exposure. Neesmith 48.
I almost feel better about the other the other build we had with Hayes. Yeah.
So with Hayes, that'd be $4,700.
If we didn't go Giannis and we did two mid-tier, would you be comfortable with that, or do you just fear
that's
Giannis?
$8,300 a play for a forward, or I guess really it could be anything because Duarte can move. No, it'd be a forward and utility.
Because we could get Butler 87.
Yeah,
wouldn't that feel like a second spend up almost?
Yeah, I like Butler there. Butler and Chris Paul.
Dude, love that. Yes. Chris Paul. I wanted to play Chris Paul. I just didn't know if we could get there.
Yep.
But that feels great because we have exposure to a lot of elite. The only thing we don't have exposure to is Milwaukee, Sacramento, which kind of stinks. But
late night hammer, Milwaukee, Sacramento.
Well, Phoenix, Golden State is also. We have two 10:00 games tonight.
Yeah.
And we have Chris Paul. We have Chris Paul in that window, which feels good because Chris Paul's been awesome.
Yep. All right. So then we got Trae Young, Andrew Nembhard, Duarte, John Collins, Isaiah Jackson, Killian Hayes, Jimmy Butler, Chris Paul as our lineup here. I believe Ryan Kirksey's on your playbook for today. James and I will be in the Discord if you have any questions. Good luck. Pay attention to the lineup news. There's definitely going to be some injury updates coming your way for later today. James and I, again, will be in the Discord. We'll talk to you guys later.